What? Two in one day? No, he can't be doing another live stream. What is he, crazy? Is he Meshuggah in the head? No, I'm not. I am just really, really bored. I stayed home from church today to work on a project. It was actually a computer build for somebody. And unfortunately, that had to be put on hold because they are sick. Typical for this time of year. Um, so I have nothing else better to do. I'm waiting for mom to get home. She and I are going to go out on a bike ride this afternoon, try to get more steps in, or more steps in. Duh. I got enough steps in this morning. Try to get some more exercise in, I should say. This isn't helping. I'm drinking some hot chocolate. I've gotten kind of a sweet tooth back recently. This is really good, though, by the way. Best hot chocolate I've ever had. You take about a quarter of a cup of half and half. Then you get about a cup of milk, mix it together, put it in a microwave safe mug, heat it in the microwave until it boils. And you'll see it because you'll see the foam coming up. You'll see it going on top. And then you take it out and you put in about 5 or 6 tablespoons of Hershey's chocolate syrup. You know, the one that comes in the plastic jar, or the plastic jug, I should say. You mix it together, put a few marshmallows in. Oh, man, so good. You got it, Victor. 2 in one day. Figured there might be some other people out there as bored as I am. The first live stream, if you've seen it, in post-production was talking about tech, more specifically the increased price of solid-state media. I really want to let you guys know that, because if you're looking to get solid-state hard drives, this is the time to do it. Make sure that you stock up, because by the middle of this year, prices are expected to rise upwards of 40%. So go ahead and stock up on those SSDs. Victor Del Fuente, never been more excited to see 2 streams in one day, Matt. Keep it up. I will try. It's interesting. I have about 50% of you tell me you love the live streams. The other 50% tell me, no, I hate the live streams. Go back to doing the vlogs. So for right now, live streams are going to be the thing, because time is of the essence. I may be heading back up. Actually, scratch that. I am going to be heading back up to New York to work for the 5 and 10 discount groceries. So getting that done, helping my father recover, because my father had rotator cuff surgery the other day, and actually it was about a week ago now, and I've had to help him do his physical therapy exercises. I've had to drive him around. I've had to do all of the laundry, all the household tasks. So unfortunately, vlogs and uploaded videos really aren't possible at the moment, but don't worry, you will be seeing some more of those in the future. Actually, I have one that I need to edit up and upload, but just again, haven't had the time to do it. Good morning, Matt. This is Harold K. Getting ready to go on a quick road trip. Nice. I missed that. As a matter of fact, I may need to head out up towards Northern Virginia very shortly, because they have these public surplus auctions, and I may be getting a load of computers from one of those. But it's not a definite, because I've made some local connections, very local, for a company that is a computer, basically does computer liquidations. I'm not going to name names, because I don't want to lose that contact, and 2, I want to be able to get there first. I mean, let's face it, we got to keep the best contacts to ourselves sometimes. But that one's only a couple of towns away, and I'm hoping I can make a deal to get a pallet of computers. They're probably going to be business class computers, very similar to the HP 6000 series ones that I got a couple of months back. I'm in talks with a gentleman right now as to price per unit. That's how they work it. Most of these liquidation companies, they get massive quantities of computer equipment from different companies, the government, sometimes all these different sources, and they take them. And what they'll do usually is they'll strip them, they'll make them bare bones, they'll pull the hard drives out, either destroy them or format them. Just depends on what the contract requires. and then they'll go ahead and put them up for sale. So what I'm trying to do is get kind of a grab bag palette, if you will. So what I'm looking at is getting some like Pentium dual cores, some Core i3s and Core i5s, probably not the i7s, because from what I understand, they resell those themselves. And I get it. I mean, the i7s have still quite a bit of value, but if I can get like a palette of, say, maybe 40 or 50 computers, and the per unit price is at all attractive, I'm going to pull the plug, because that is a lot of savings. That saves me from having to drive around, find computer equipment. And I have clients. This is crunch time because Windows 7 just went out of support. And I have a lot of clients that are still rocking Windows 7 computers. So those computers are going to need to be swapped out for Windows 10 computers. So yeah, it's kind of crunch time right now. Eric's Roddy Channel. I'm currently driving through something called Vineland, New Jersey. Never heard of that one before. Victor Del Fuente, Matt, I know you're not a fan of MacBooks, but would there be any ones that you would recommend? Well, I don't know if you saw my other live stream, and I hope I don't make a total mess taking this down, but I actually did pick up a MacBook Pro at the thrift store the other day. Yeah, I actually did pay $10 for this. Now, it's rough. I had to order a new battery, a new charger, and it's an older one. I believe, now that I've done the research, I believe it is a Core 2 Duo model. It's a 2009. From what I understand, these were decent ones. These were before the i-series that had all of the problems with the video cards. So something like this is good thing to kind of sink your teeth into to kind of get used to the platform. But this is really getting a little bit too old. Like, I don't think you'd be doing any high-end video or photo editing with a MacBook Pro quite this old. That being said, I do kind of want to play around with it a little bit. I want to get used to the newer the newer Mac OS, which I think is Mojave. And there is a way to install that on there, believe it or not. I have a website that I can make a flash drive from, and it will install on a MacBook of that generation. WW Souls, did you sell many computers locally when you were living in New York last time? Very good question. No, not really. That area up there, we're talking about Western New York, like Binghamton area, is what they would call a depressed area. In other words, it's low income. So for me to sell computers up there, I have to have that price point pretty low. We're talking at most maybe $140 to $160. So for me to get computers and sell them at that price and actually make a profit is very difficult, because to give you an example, even something like a Pentium dual core or maybe a Core 2 Duo, I generally still have to pay $20 to $30 a piece per computer. Then I have to buy an SSD, because everybody wants SSDs now. So that's another $20 or $30. And I got to put a keyboard, mouse, monitor. And when everything's said and done, if I add all that up, I'm probably into that computer for $80 to $100, depending on what size SSD I put in. Now, if I'm into it, say $80, I need to at the very least double my money. So that means I got to sell that computer for $160. You have to be able to double your money. If you're not doubling your money, you're working way too hard. So up there, if I can get computers really cheap, like we're talking maybe $10, $20 a unit, and refurbish them and resell them, and maybe at like the $120 price point, then yes, I think I will be able to sell quite a few, but it's a bigger challenge. Now, the positive is up there, at least, the cost of living is less. Housing cost is less. It's cost less for food. So it does kind of even out, but I just got to figure out how to do it up there. I've figured it out here. I have a clientele here that I've built up over many, many years. So down here, it's easy. But when I'm working upstate New York, it's going to take me a while to figure out what people actually want, and of course, what they're able to afford. Eric's Friday channel. My live streams may be late because I'm choosing to have lunch with somebody right now. That's okay. I should get the notice, hopefully. Now, it's funny. The last few live streams Eric did, I watched them in post-production because I never got the notifications. I'm doing just fine, Stephen. Maybe eating and drinking a little too much. I'm not talking about sugary stuff here. Oh, it is so good. Yeah, you know what? It's cold outside. We're going to take a bike ride outside later, so I'm going to be working most of this off. Incidentally, talking about bicycles, you guys have asked me a lot, Matt, what types of bikes do you ride? And this is interesting. For the longest time, I have bought the cheap, Walmart specials, Target specials, and they were always 26-inch frames. And I thought they were fine. Yeah, I had to raise the seat up really high because I'm 6'2", and those are smaller frame bikes. I thought they were fine. But you know what? When I was in upstate New York, I picked up a BCA 29-inch bike, really, really cheap. It was like a $180 bike originally. I got it was basically internet price match clearance for $80. Ever since I've been on that bike, I realized for years I have been riding the wrong size bikes. If you are over 6 feet tall, you really need to have a 29-inch frame, because anything smaller than that, 26, 27-inch, they're more for people that are like 5'5" to like 5'10". And I didn't realize that it was actually hurting my back, because when you're riding a smaller bike than you're supposed to, you're kind of hunched over the handlebars. And every time I would ride my bike, I would come out of a long bike ride with lower back pain. And I'm like, what's going on? Why do I have to be hunched over like that? And then it all made sense to me after I talked to my uncle. I was riding the wrong size bike. So ever since I got the 29-inch bike, I've had no more lower back pain. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to be selling the majority of my other bikes because I can't really ride them anymore. Every time I try to ride them, I get really bad lower back pain. So just kind of a top tip for you guys out there. When you're looking at bicycles, make sure you get the right size bike for your height. And they can help you at the different bike stores. Now, don't go to Walmart. They'll never know what size is right for you. But if you go somewhere like Dick's Sporting Goods, maybe a local bike shop, like in my area, it's called Scat Bikes. They'll be able to help you and pretty much give you the best size bike for your height. We got 10 watchers and 3 likes. Awesome. Not too much going on in the chat window right now, so I'm going to take another sip until I get another comment or question. I love this thing, by the way. Got this at the thrift store, brand new, double insulated. I still haven't been able to figure out what the brand is, though. It's... Oh, wait a minute. Is that it? Can't really tip it over right now because I'm sitting down. It's called Everyday Living. 17-ounce double insulated. This will keep hot drinks hot and cold drinks cold for about 8 to 12 hours, depending on how hot, of course, it was when you put it in there in the first place. Brad Smith says, hey, Matt. Hey, Brad, how you doing? And Stephen Barber's still here, hopefully. Oh, my goodness. With the colder weather that we've been having, I've really had to put a lot of lotion on recently. And this is one that I've started using a lot, Cetaphil. They have a lot of different ones. This one's just the all skin types body and face moisturizing lotion, but they all work really well. And what I like about it is it's not greasy, and it actually stays on your hands. It's semi-waterproof. So if you put it on, let it dry, then you have to go wash your hands, it'll still stay on there. WW Souls, are there many new food items at the Dollar Tree? Not at mine recently. Now, bear in mind that I'm not really eating a lot of the highly processed frozen and dry goods at the moment. I'm really still trying to do good on my diet / lifestyle change. It seems to me that they had a lot of new packaged fruits like the Del Monte little plastic things of like mandarin oranges, mangoes. They had like dried pineapple or pineapple. In the frozen section, it's kind of been pretty much the same old, though they did add some frozen fruits. And they have a frozen fruit medley that I think has strawberries, blueberries, and I want to say it was cantaloupe. And then they, of course, have the frozen strawberries by themselves, frozen peaches, and things like that. And those are great for smoothies. When I was really watching it and I wanted a smoothie, that's where I would go to get a lot of those frozen fruits. Though, in all honesty, it's really better to get fresh if you can. Now, of course, in the wintertime, that's not usually possible. Eric's Right Channel. This morning I ordered the water bottle from lttstore.com. I'll have to look that up. I'm not familiar with that particular website. And I can hear my hard drive. I got to figure something better. Although it's funny because I can hear it in here, but when I replay these live streams for myself afterwards to check the audio and video quality, I usually don't hear it. So I guess in a way, if I hear it, that's fine. That's okay. If you guys don't hear it, then that's even better. Hey, Matt, does Ultra SSD have better lifespans? That's interesting. I had a discussion with somebody about that the other day. The manufacturers would lead you to believe that they do. Ultra being that they're more durable, they're made with the better memory, usually NAND technology. They have more robust components. But in my experience, pretty much all SSDs have a very long lifespan. We're talking 3, 4, 5+ years, way longer than your modern conventional hard drives. So the only thing I'll say about that is if you find an Ultra SSD on sale and it's the same price or very close to the same price as the regular SSDs, then I would say pick it up. But don't think you're going to get a lot of extra life out of it. You probably aren't. It's just kind of a marketing ploy. And manufacturers are really good at doing that, using what they call buzzwords to sell something that they boast is superior when it's really not. I mean, give you a great example. Look at the automotive industry. Look at Chrysler. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest. We're gonna talk a little bit about the American auto manufacturers. So Chrysler, GM, Ford, they're putting out all these new vehicles. They're saying, oh yeah, these things are so great. They have variable valve timing. They have CVT transmissions, so you get better gas mileage. Both those things are supposed to give you better gas mileage. And we have Android audio or Apple CarPlay. But you want to know something? They're nowhere near as well built as they were 15, 20 years ago. I'll give you a great example. I have that 96 Chevy Tahoe out there. That has 230,000 miles on it. And that thing is a beast. I would take that across country in a heartbeat. I don't think it would break down. If something broke, it would probably be something minor like a starter motor or maybe an alternator. I would be more concerned with taking a modern, like something like a 2020 or a 2019 Chevy Silverado. Sorry, Eric, I know, buddy. Across country, because I would expect that to break down quicker because of all the technology and the fact that they are using inferior components in these modern vehicles. Aluminum heads instead of steel. They're using, Ford's using an aluminum bed, believe it or not. And I've seen to where in the new F-150s, F-250s with aluminum bed, people load them up and it actually dents the bed because it's not strong enough to handle the load. Matt, oh my goodness, no, I didn't mean to do that. All right, so what do we got? We got 7 watchers and 3 likes. Awesome. And again, I'm just doing this for both of our sakes. I'm kind of trying to figure out what to do today. I was hoping, like I said, to get to get some work done, but that unfortunately did not pan out. Like I said, the person I was supposed to do the work for, she wound up getting sick, so we got to put that off till next week. Oh man, that is so good. Yeah, I agree with you. WW Soul says, I don't see an aluminum bed in a truck would last a long time. It wouldn't. It honestly wouldn't. You know, when it comes to like rust or rot, yeah, it may not be as prone to rot or rust as, say, like a steel bed would. But that's not really the point when you have a work vehicle. A work vehicle is just that, a vehicle you have to get work done. And if they can't handle the load, then what's the point? And the main reason, other than cost, is again fuel mileage. Aluminum weighs less than steel, so theoretically these vehicles are going to be better on fuel, and they usually are. I mean, if you look at the what does Ford call it? The EcoBoost engine, the V6s that they put in these trucks. They're great engines for the most part. They're very strong. Heck, I've seen them pull semis out of ditches with those, and they're very good on gas. But the downside to that is they're not necessarily the strongest vehicles. They're not going to last 250, 300,000 miles like the old Fords with the with the the 5.0s, the 302s, the 351s. They're just not going to last that long because the engines can't handle the high, excuse me a sec, all the high work that they're asking them to do. Sorry about that, everybody. I always forget to mute that phone. I'm not sure who would be calling me on a Sunday anyway, but I don't know. Let's see who has a topic they want to discuss. I mean, everything's open right now within reason. Remember, this is a family-friendly channel. Oh man, hot cocoa on a cold day. There's nothing better than that. And I don't do this every day. Believe me, if I did this every day, I'd be back up to the weight that I was at, 2 years ago. The secret is to put a little bit of half and half and then milk the rest of it. Don't ever make your hot cocoa with water. It just doesn't taste right. All right. Well, I guess nobody else has anything to say. Oh, here we go. WW Souls. Things aren't built to last these days. Unfortunately, my friends have a toaster from the 1920s. Oh, my friends, unfortunately, and then the new sentence. My friends have a toaster from the 1920s. Almost unbelievably works just fine. Oh, I believe it. My grandmother had one from the 50s that she had since the 50s. I think she had it from brand new. And we finally retired it, I think, around the year 2000. So we're talking about 50 years the toaster lasted. And the only reason that we retired it is it couldn't fit bagels in. At the time, we were all really into eating bagels. And it wasn't big enough. So we actually bought our first bagel toaster. But I want to say that's probably still up in the attic somewhere. If I took that out, it's now, 2020. So that makes it, 70 years old now. I bet it would still work just fine, or about 70 anyway. All right, everybody, I think I'm going to end it here. I just wanted to give you guys a few other people maybe a chance to come and join this live stream. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.